Okay, so it is way back to the section A. Now the 15th question is that find the correct statement out of the following. So it is given 4 statements. So we need to find which one is correct among these statements. So we need to know about each of the statements to say which one is correct and which one is wrong. Okay, so going to the first option, convolute laminae formed by desiccation. It is the first option, convolute laminae formed by desiccation. So in order to know whether it is right or wrong, first of all we need to know what is desiccation. So let me explain you what is desiccation. Desiccation, it is nothing but the removal of the moisture from the soil. So this is just a removal of moisture. That means complete water will be removed. The water will be removed from the soil, which gives the cracks due to contraction. As we know, if the soil completely loses its moisture content due to the expansion or due to the contraction, what will happen? Cracks may occur in between the soil. This process is known as desiccation. Then it says that convolute laminae formed due to desiccation. As we know, synresis tract and mud crack are formed by the process of desiccation, whereas no convolute laminae are formed. So the two process or the two things happens in this desiccation is that synres crack and mud crack. These two cracks are formed. Synres crack and mud crack are formed as a result of what? Desiccation. So due to desiccation, synres crack and mud cracks are formed. No convolute laminae are formed by desiccation, whereas this convolute laminae are formed by liquefaction. Convolute laminae are formed by liquefaction. That we should have to keep in mind. Liquefaction. Okay, so convolute laminae are formed by liquefaction. They are not formed by desiccation. So this statement is wrong. Okay, now moving to the second statement, lodcast is an erosional structure. By reading itself, we know that with the prior knowledge of the structures, lodcast is not an erosional structure. This is incorrect. Why? Because lodcast is not an erosional structure, whereas lodcast is a deformational structure. That we know, lodcast deposit, they are deformational deposit, whereas they are deformational deposit, whereas they are not erosional deposit. So the statement is not correct. Then the third option is that prod marks is found at the bottom of a bed. Prod mark. Prod mark is a kind of tool mark. Prod mark is a kind of tool mark. It's a kind of tool mark, and this category or this prod mark or tool mark comes under the category of sole mark. Sole, S-O-L-E, sole mark. This prod mark or our tool mark, this comes under the category of sole mark. As the name indicates, sole means it is the bottom. Sole means the bottom. So prod mark is found at the bottom of the bed. The statement is absolutely right, because prod mark belongs to the category of sole mark, where the sole represents the bottom. So prod mark is found at the bottom of the bed. So it is completely a correct sentence. Then finally, moving with the fourth option, wave ripple occurs at top of a turbidite deposit. Wave ripples. Wave ripples occurs at the top of a turbidite deposit. So in order to know this question, first of all we need to know what is a turbidite deposit. Turbidite deposit is very frequently expressed by Bauma deposit. Bauma sequence. Bauma sequence expresses this turbidite deposit, where this sequence is divided into 5 layers, that is A, B, C, D and E. These are the 5 layers of Bauma sequence. Whereas The top layer is represented as E. This is usually, or this layer consists of planar laminations. This layer consists of planar laminations. Planar lamination. This consists of planar laminations, whereas this ripple marks occurs in very high energy conditions. That means it usually occurs at the bottom portion, whereas this top portion consists of planar laminations. Okay, this planar laminations forms at very calm. This very calm air, or it is very calm condition is necessary for the formation of this planar lamination, that is the top layer of this turbidite deposit. So wave ripples never occurs at the top of the turbidite deposit. So this is also a wrong statement. So the correct answer for this question is that option C, prod mark is found at the bottom of the bed. Okay. Now it is the next question. This is the first question from crystallography. Which one of the following crystal forms does not belong to ditetragonal pyramidal class? Now the class is ditetragonal pyramidal class. So what we need to find is that which one of the following crystal does not belongs to the ditetragonal pyramidal class. So now here there are four options given for us. First is C period, B is prism of first order, C is ditetragonal prism, and D is tetragonal dipyramid. So now let me draw a simple figure which expresses completely the type mineral for the group. Okay, so let us completely draw some prism. Yes, here you consider these things as a prism. Okay, these lines. Okay, now you consider this as a prism, and general formula or the general form of ditetragonal pyramidal class is 4mm. That is the general formula for ditetragonal pyramidal class. Then you have written 4. Now first option is C period. C period. So let me express what is a period. Period, it is nothing but it's a plane. Okay, period, it is a class. Period is a class where it is having only a single plane. It's only having a single plane that does not contains any symmetry. Period does not contains any symmetry, but it is parallel to one of the other axis. It will be parallel to one of the other axis. That is a period. Period that is only having this axis. So when we compare this period to the ditetragonal pyramidal class, what happened? The C axis is the angle parallel to this period. That is C period. Period means as an axis, that is C axis. That is C period. So this is a right expression for ditetragonal pyramidal class, because ditetragonal pyramidal class is having a C period. So our question is, which following crystal form does not belongs to ditetragonal pyramidal class? So this is the right option. Okay. Then next option is prism of first order. So prism of first order is also, you can see prism of first order, it is present. Of course it is present here. So that is also the right answer. Next is ditetragonal prism. Next is ditetragonal prism. It is also of course present here. It is ditetragonal pyramidal class. It is also present here. Now the fourth option, tetragonal. Then next is tetragonal dipyramid. Okay, the next is tetragonal dipyramid. This is actually a closed form. This is actually a closed form. That is, it should be in this way. This will be a closed form because both the top and both portion it should be equal. So this is a wrong statement. So this will be the answer, that is which does not belongs to ditetragonal pyramidal class. Dipyramid in the sense it should have both this top and bottom portion should have a pyramidal structure, that is dipyramid, two pyramids. Okay, so this will be the wrong. So the answer for is tetragonal dipyramid. Okay. Now it is the next question. Okay, the 17th question. If a coarse-grained igneous rock is composed of 70%, that is greater than 70% of plagioclase, it's coarse-grained igneous rock, and less than 10% of olivine and pyroxene, then name of the rock is according to IUGS classification. Yes, IUGS classification. According to IUGS classification, a rock is composed of 90% above plagioclase and less than 10% olivine and pyroxene. So what might be the name of the rock? Now you see here, it is the IUGS classification of gabbroic rocks. It's given here. And from this, we can easily identify, that is, here it is given the gabbroic values are given here, and here you can see the other values. Then here you can see pyroxene, olivine, orthopyroxene and clinopyroxene. Every values are given here. Now the first condition, that is the plagioclase percentage is greater than 90. Here you can see the plagioclase percentage is greater than 90. Of course the rock will be anorthosite. Without any confusion you can say that is the rock is anorthosite. Okay, because here you can see this is 90% and olivine percentage you can see it is only less than 10%. So the answer for the question is anorthite. It's not olivine gabbro, it is not tonalite, it is not olivine webstronite. The answer is anorthosite. That is a rock containing greater than 90% of plagioclase and less than 10% of olivine and pyroxene. Okay.